Marcus's hand trembles against her belly. She's still in her uniform. Black dress, white lace trim, the headpiece slightly crooked. 4 in the afternoon. Middle of her shift. 7 months. Imani whispers. He can't breathe. 15 years of specialists. 3 marriages ended because he couldn't give them this. And now his housekeeper, the woman he's known for barely 6 months, stands in his bedroom pregnant. The paternity test, he manages. When can we? I already know it's yours. Her voice cracks. I haven't been with anyone else. Not for over a year before I met you. Not since. His palm spreads wider. Warmth beneath the fabric. Movement. Life. Impossible. The word every doctor used. The word that destroyed everything he wanted. Until her. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you emotional stories that stay with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a story. And if you're returning, thank you. Your support means everything. Now, stay until the end, drop a comment with your thoughts, and let's begin. The house smells like lemon polish and lies. Marcus stands at his office window, watching Chicago's skyline blur through October rain. His reflection stares back. 42 years old, tech billionaire, Fortune 500, empty 12,000 square foot penthouse. The view costs more per month than most people earn in a year. He can't remember the last time he actually looked at it. His phone buzzes. Another message from his mother. Your father and I expect you at the foundation gala. Alone. We've discussed this. He deletes it. Footsteps in the hallway. Soft. Deliberate. He knows her walk now. 6 months of it, the rhythm imprinted. Different from the previous housekeepers. They'd moved through his space like they were trying not to leave fingerprints. Imani moves like she belongs. Mr. Bennett. Her voice from the doorway. I've finished the East Wing. Do you need anything before I start dinner? He turns. She's framed in the doorway, dark curls pulled back, uniform crisp despite 8 hours of work. 29 years old. Overqualified for this job. He'd noticed that in her resume. Master's degree in education, taught elementary school for 4 years before the Chicago Public Schools budget cuts. She'd taken the housekeeping position without hesitation when the agency called. You don't have to cook, he says. Same conversation they have 3 times a week. I can order something. You'll order sushi and eat at your desk. She crosses her arms. Again. It's efficient. It's sad. The bluntness should annoy him. His last 5 housekeepers quit or were fired for being too timid, too chatty, too invasive. Imani Walker somehow threads the needle. Direct without being disrespectful. Present without being intrusive. Fine, he says. Whatever you want to make. Her smile is slight. Smothered chicken. Collard greens. Mac and cheese. Cornbread. His stomach responds before his brain catches up. Where did you learn to cook like that? My grandmother. She raised me after my mama passed. Imani's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in her eyes. Sunday dinners were mandatory. Whole family. Cousins, aunts, uncles. Grandma didn't play about her table. Sounds crowded. Sounds like family. She studies him. When's the last time you ate with someone? Not a business dinner. Just ate. 3 years. His 3rd wedding anniversary dinner, the night before Vanessa's lawyer served him papers. But he doesn't say that. I'll set the table, he says instead. They eat in the kitchen. He tried suggesting the formal dining room, but she'd looked at him like he'd suggested eating in the garage. This is perfectly fine, she'd said, pulling out a chair at the island. Better, actually. Warmer. She's right. The kitchen is the only room in this penthouse that feels lived in. Marble countertops, professional-grade appliances, windows overlooking the city. Imani has slowly added touches. Fresh flowers in a vase, a basket of fruit, her grandmother's cast-iron skillet that she brings from home. The chicken melts on his tongue. Savory, rich, the gravy perfect over rice she somehow made fluffy instead of sticky. This is incredible, he says. Thank you. She tears off a piece of cornbread. My grandmother would say it's good but not quite right. She'd taste the seasoning and know I used 1/8 teaspoon less paprika. Did she pass? 2 years ago. Imani's fork pauses. Stroke. I was with her. She asked me to make sure I kept cooking Sunday dinners, even if it was just for myself. Told me food is how we stay connected to who we are. Marcus sets down his fork. I'm sorry. Me too. She meets his gaze. She would have liked you. I doubt that. Why? Because he's the man who works 16-hour days and comes home to silence. Because 3 women tried to love him and left when he couldn't give them children. Because his own parents only call when they need him for appearances. I'm not particularly likable, he says. Imani laughs. Actually laughs. Mr. Bennett, you pay me extremely well to clean your house. I don't have to like you. But I do anyway. You're quiet, yeah. Private. But you're also the only employer I've ever had who asks about my day. Who notices when I'm tired. Who leaves me Christmas bonuses that let me pay off my student loans. His chest tightens. You paid them off? Last month. Because of you. Her smile is radiant. First time in 7 years I'm not drowning. First time I can actually save money, think about maybe going back to school, getting my PhD. You gave me that. He doesn't know what to say. The silence stretches, not awkward but full. Tell me about your family, she says finally. You never mention them. Not much to tell. Father runs Bennett Capital. Mother runs charity galas. Sister runs marketing for the company. Everyone has their role. And yours? Make money. Show up when required. Don't embarrass anyone. Imani's fork clinks against her plate. That's lonely. That's reality. No. She shakes her head. That's what you've accepted. There's a difference. He starts staying later in the kitchen. Imani works until 7 most nights. Cleans, organizes, preps meals for his week. He tells himself he's just being efficient, eating while she cooks. But the truth settles heavier each night. He likes her voice. The way she hums Jill Scott while chopping vegetables. The stories about her students, the 8-year-old who used to leave origami cranes on her desk, the girl who wrote her letters after she lost her job. Do you miss it? He asks one evening. Teaching. Every day. She's making red beans and rice, the kitchen smelling like Holy Trinity and smoked sausage. But I'm starting to think maybe this is what I needed. Time to figure out what's next. Space to breathe. You could go back. You're more than qualified. Maybe. She stirs the pot. Or maybe I'll do something different. I've been thinking about educational consulting. Helping schools with curriculum design. Something where I can still impact kids but have more flexibility. You'd be great at that. She glances at him. You really think so? I know so. The air shifts. He's standing too close to the stove, close enough to smell her perfume. Something warm, vanilla maybe, mixed with the scent of her cooking. Mr. Bennett, she says softly. Marcus. Please. Just Marcus. Her eyes search his face. Marcus. His name in her mouth rewires something in his brain. The night everything changes. It's raining. Not the gentle October mist but a full Midwestern downpour. Wind rattling windows. Thunder shaking the building. Imani stayed late to finish reorganizing his home office. A project he definitely didn't need done but requested anyway because the thought of the empty penthouse felt unbearable. His phone rings at 9. Vanessa. His third ex-wife. He shouldn't answer. But something, muscle memory, masochism, makes him pick up. Marcus. Her voice is bright. Happy. I wanted you to hear it from me first. Richard and I are expecting. 12 weeks. The floor dissolves. That's wonderful, he hears himself say. Congratulations. I know this might be hard for you. Given everything. But I'm happy. Really happy. You should be. Take care of yourself, Marcus. She hangs up. He stands in his bedroom, phone in hand, chest caving in. Vanessa is pregnant. The woman who left him because he was broken, because he couldn't give her the family she deserved, is carrying another man's child. 2 years with her new husband and she's already succeeded where 15 years of Marcus's life failed. He sits on the edge of his bed. Can't cry. Can't breathe. The knock on his door is gentle. Marcus. Imani's voice. I heard the phone. Are you okay? I'm fine. The door opens anyway. She steps inside, still in her uniform, concern written across her features. You're not fine. Imani, I appreciate it, but... She's pregnant. It's not a question. Somehow she knows. Your ex-wife. He nods. She crosses the room. Sits beside him on the bed. Close enough that their shoulders touch. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm happy for her. You can be both. Happy for her and devastated for yourself. Something breaks. 15 years of holding everything together, of pretending the diagnosis didn't matter, of telling himself he was fine with a life of work and emptiness. Every doctor said the same thing, he whispers. Severe oligospermia. Less than 1% chance of natural conception. IVF was our only option, and even that. He swallows. My first wife Rachel we tried for 5 years. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nothing. She left. Said she couldn't keep living with the disappointment. Second wife Jennifer didn't even try. Stayed 2 years and filed for divorce. Said she wanted children and I couldn't give them to her. Vanessa and I did 3 rounds of IVF. Failed every time. She left me for Richard. And now she's pregnant. I'm the common denominator. I'm the reason none of them got what they wanted. Stop. Imani's hand covers his. You're not broken. The science says otherwise. The science says unlikely. Not impossible. Her thumb strokes across his knuckles. And even if you never have biological children, that doesn't make you less. You know that, right? He doesn't. But when she says it, he almost believes her. They sit in silence. Rain against glass. Her hand in his. He turns to thank her. She's already looking at him. Later, he won't remember who moved first. Only that her lips taste like cornbread and hope, that she fits against him like she was designed for this, that 15 years of emptiness evaporates when she whispers his name. One night. That's all it is. One night that changes everything. Quick pause. If you're feeling this story, hype it so others can find it. Comment where you're watching from. Now back to the story. Imani stops coming to work. 3 days after that night, she calls in sick. Then texts that she needs personal time. By the second week, Marcus is pacing his penthouse at 2 a.m. Her absence louder than any presence. He texts, "Are you okay?" No response. He calls. Voicemail. His assistant mentions the agency sent a replacement housekeeper. He fires her on sight. "Get Imani back," he tells the agency manager. "Sir, Ms. Walker requested indefinite leave. We can't force." "Then give me her address." "That's against our privacy policy." He donates $50,000 to their scholarship fund. They give him the address. She lives in Bronzeville, a third-floor walk-up in a renovated Greystone. The neighborhood smells like rain and fried fish from the corner restaurant. He feels absurdly out of place in his Tom Ford suit. He climbs the stairs. Knocks. Silence. "Imani. I know you're in there. Your car's outside." More silence. "I'm not leaving. I'll stand here all night if I have to." The door opens. She's in an oversized Howard University sweatshirt and leggings. Her curls loose around her face. She looks exhausted. "You shouldn't be here," she says. "You won't answer my calls." "Because there's nothing to say. That night was a mistake." Her voice is flat. "I took advantage of you when you were vulnerable. It was unprofessional and inappropriate, and I'm resigning." "You didn't take advantage of anyone. And you're not resigning." "Marcus. I haven't stopped thinking about you." The words come out raw. "Every room in that place feels wrong without you in it. I wake up expecting to smell coffee you made. Hear you humming in the kitchen. I don't want a replacement. I want you. Her eyes fill. You don't know what you're saying. I'm saying I'm falling for you. Have been for months, probably. That night just made me admit it. We can't. She shakes her head. Your family, your world. I'm your housekeeper, Marcus. Do you know what people would say? I don't care. You should. She wraps her arms around herself. I've seen how this goes. Rich man, working class woman. Everyone assumes she's after his money, that he's having some crisis. It destroys her reputation, and he moves on when the novelty wears off. That's not us. How do you know? Because I've never felt like this. He steps closer. 3 marriages. Dozens of relationships. No one ever made me want to stay home just to be near them. No one ever made me laugh at myself or called me out when I was being difficult. No one ever felt like home. A tear spills down her cheek. This is a bad idea. Probably. We barely know each other. Then let's change that. Dinner. Not as your employer. As someone who wants to know everything about you. She studies his face for a long moment. 1 dinner. That's all I'm promising. 1 dinner, he agrees. She doesn't close the door when he leaves. He takes it as a good sign. They have 7 dinners. The first at a quiet Italian place in River North, where she tells him about growing up on the South Side, Sunday services at her grandmother's church, the auntie who taught her to braid hair and the uncle who showed her how to change a tire. The second at an Ethiopian restaurant she chooses, where they eat with their hands and she laughs when injera gets stuck in his teeth. The third he cooks, badly, and she takes over halfway through, her body pressed against his back as she corrects his technique with the roux. By the 4th dinner she stays the night. By the 7th, she has a drawer in his bedroom. This is crazy, she says one morning, wearing his shirt, drinking coffee at the island. It's been 3 weeks. 5 if you count before. Before we were pretending this wasn't happening. I wasn't pretending. He kisses her shoulder. I was just slow to catch up. She tilts her head back. Your family's going to hate me. They don't have to know yet. Marcus. I'm serious. Let's just exist. No pressure. No outside voices. Just us figuring this out. She wants to argue. He can see it. But then she kisses him instead, and the conversation dissolves into something better. 6 weeks in, she starts feeling sick. At first, she thinks it's stress. Working fewer hours at his place at his insistence, while interviewing for consulting positions. The change in routine. The secret relationship burning through her life like wildfire. But the nausea doesn't stop. The exhaustion gets worse. You should see a doctor, Marcus says when he finds her dry heaving in his bathroom at noon. It's just a bug. It's been 5 days. I'm fine. She's not fine. The pregnancy test she takes in her apartment, alone at 2 a.m, shows 2 pink lines. She takes 3 more. All positive. Her hands shake so hard she drops the 4th test in the sink. Pregnant. She's pregnant. With Marcus Bennett's child. The man whose entire identity is shaped by his inability to have children. The billionaire whose 3 marriages ended because of infertility. The person who finally opened up to her about his deepest wound. And she's carrying the one thing every doctor said he couldn't create. She thinks about calling him. Picks up her phone a dozen times. But how do you tell someone their impossible dream is coming true? How do you prove it's not a trap, not a scheme, not another betrayal? She stops answering his calls. Stops going to his penthouse. Texts that she needs space, that she's sorry, that it's not about him. Every word is a lie. 8 weeks later she can't hide it anymore. The morning sickness has evolved into all-day nausea. Her scrubs from her part-time nursing home job no longer fit. She's avoiding mirrors because the changes are becoming visible. She's at Target, standing in the baby aisle like an idiot, when she sees him. Marcus. In a Target. In Bronzeville. He's holding a bottle of prenatal vitamins. Their eyes meet across 20 feet of shopping carts and fluorescent lighting. Imani. She runs. He follows. Catches her in the parking lot. Hand gentle on her arm. Please. Just talk to me. I can't. Why not? What did I do? Nothing. You did nothing wrong. Then why won't you see me? Why won't you? He stops. Stares at the prenatal vitamins in her basket, the one she grabbed without thinking. His face goes white. You're pregnant. She can't speak. How far along? Marcus. How far? 8 weeks. Her voice breaks. Almost 9. He does the math in his head. She watches it happen. The night of the rainstorm. Vanessa's call. Their first time together. It's mine, he says. No. Imani. It can't be yours. You know it can't be. I don't know how this happened, but it's not. I wouldn't do this to you. I wouldn't let you hope for something that's impossible. Who else? What? Who else have you been with? She wants to lie. Invent someone. Protect him from the hope that will destroy him when the paternity test proves what every doctor already told him. But she can't. No one, she whispers. Not for over a year before you. Not since. But Marcus, the odds. I don't care about odds. His hand moves to her stomach, hovering. Can I? She nods. His palm settles over the small swell beneath her shirt. Warmth. Steadiness. Wonder. We'll do a paternity test, he says quietly. Not because I don't believe you, but because you need proof. Because you're terrified right now that I'm going to hope and then lose everything when reality hits. So we'll test. And when it shows that this baby is mine, you're going to let me be there. For all of it. Okay. Tears stream down her face. What if it's not? Then we deal with that together. His thumb strokes across the fabric. But Imani. I already know. This is mine. Ours. I don't know how or why, but I know. You can't know that. I can. Because for the first time in 15 years, something impossible is happening. And it's happening with you. The paternity test is scheduled for the following week. Non-invasive, just blood work from her, comparison to his DNA. Marcus holds her hand through the entire appointment. The doctor is a specialist he hired, someone discreet who asks no questions. The woman draws Imani's blood with efficiency. Promises results in 3 days. Fastest turnaround available, she says. 3 days feels like forever. They spend it at his penthouse. She's technically moved in, though neither of them has said it aloud. Her clothes in his closet. Her shampoo in his shower. Her presence in every room. What if your family finds out before we know? She asks on day 2. They won't. But if they do, then they deal with it. He pulls her against his chest. They're in bed mid-afternoon, the skyline stretched beyond the windows. I'm 42 years old. I don't need their permission to live my life. They're going to think I trapped you. Let them think what they want. Marcus. No. He tilts her chin up. I mean it. My mother's going to have opinions. My father will want a prenup. My sister will probably hire a private investigator. And I don't care. Because you're the first real thing that's happened to me in years. However this baby came to be, I'm choosing you. Both of you. That's not changing. She kisses him. Slow. Deep. Trying to memorize the taste of hope before reality potentially destroys it. Day 3. The doctor calls at 11 in the morning. Marcus puts it on speaker. Mr. Bennett. Ms. Walker. The results are conclusive. The doctor's voice is professional, but there's an edge of something else. Surprise, maybe. Mr. Bennett, you are the biological father. Probability of paternity. 99.98%. Imani's legs give out. Marcus catches her, guides her to the couch, his hand never leaving hers. That's impossible, Imani breathes. The doctors said. I'm aware of Mr. Bennett's previous diagnosis, the doctor says. I've reviewed his medical records. What I'm seeing suggests that the original analysis may have been incomplete or that his condition has improved significantly. It's rare, but not unheard of. Environmental factors, lifestyle changes, even stress reduction can impact fertility. Regardless of the cause, the result is clear. This is his biological child. Marcus doesn't speak. Can't speak. Thank you, Imani manages. We'll call if we have questions. She ends the call. Silence fills the penthouse. Then Marcus shatters. Not crying. Something deeper. 15 years of grief and resignation breaking apart. He pulls Imani into his arms, face buried in her neck, body shaking. It's real, he whispers. It's really real. It's real, she confirms, her own tears falling. I'm going to be a father. You're going to be a father. He pulls back, hands framing her face. Marry me. What? Marry me. I know it's fast. I know we have 1,000 things to figure out. But I don't want to waste another second. I love you. I love this baby. Marry me. She should say no. Should say they need time, should point out that they've known each other for 8 months and been together for less than 3. But she spent 2 months terrified of this moment. 2 months convinced that the test would prove him wrong, would break his heart, would end whatever they'd built. And instead, it proved the impossible. Yes, she whispers. Yes. Yes. I'll marry you. He kisses her. Deep. Claiming. His hand slides to her stomach, protective. You changed everything, he says against her mouth. So did you. They tell his family on a Thursday. Marcus insists on doing it in person, at his parents' Lake Forest estate. The kind of house that appears in architecture magazines. 12 bedrooms, wine cellar, gardens designed by someone with 3 names. Imani's hands won't stop shaking during the drive. They're going to hate me, she says for the 15th time. They're going to have opinions. There's a difference. Marcus's hand finds hers on the center console. And their opinions don't change anything. Your mother already hates that you fired the replacement housekeeper. My mother hates anything that disrupts her carefully organized world. He squeezes her fingers. You're about to disrupt it completely. I'm honestly looking forward to it. You're terrible. I'm in love. He brings her hand to his lips. There's a difference. The gate opens automatically. The driveway is longer than her entire block. I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment, Imani says quietly. My grandmother worked 2 jobs. We shopped at Goodwill. This is excessive. I was going to say intimidating. It's just a house. Expensive and cold like everything else they own. He parks in front of the main entrance. You ready? She's not. But she nods anyway. Catherine Bennett opens the door herself. A power move, Imani realizes. No housekeeper. No staff. Just Marcus's mother in Chanel and pearls. Her expression perfectly neutral. Marcus. You said this was urgent. It is. Mom, this is Imani Walker. My fiancé. The neutral expression cracks. Just slightly. I'm sorry. We're engaged. She's pregnant. We wanted you to hear it from us. Catherine's gaze drops to Imani's stomach, barely visible beneath her loose sweater, then back to Marcus's face. Inside, she says. Now. The living room could hold Imani's entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the lake. Art that probably costs more than she'll earn in her lifetime hangs on cream walls. Richard Bennett rises from a leather armchair. Marcus's father. Same sharp features, same cold assessment in his eyes. Dad. This is Imani. We're getting married. You're what? Richard's voice is dangerously quiet. Married. She's pregnant. 15 weeks. We wanted to tell you in person. Catherine sinks onto the sofa. This is a joke. It's not. You don't just spring something like this on your family, Marcus. Richard's jaw tightens. How long have you even known this woman? 8 months. 8 months. Catherine laughs, sharp and brittle. You've known her 8 months, and you're marrying her? After Vanessa. After the disaster with Jennifer. This is different. Of course it is. She's pregnant. Richard's gaze cuts to Imani. Very convenient timing, Ms. Walker. Imani's spine straightens. Excuse me. My son is worth $4 billion. You're his housekeeper. The math isn't complicated. Dad. No. Imani steps forward. Let him finish. I want to hear exactly what he thinks of me. Richard's expression doesn't change. I think you saw an opportunity. Wealthy, lonely man with a fertility problem. Get pregnant, by him or someone else, doesn't matter. Claim it's his and secure your future. Classic gold digger playbook. The room goes silent. Marcus moves between them. That's enough. It's the truth. It's not. Marcus's voice could cut glass. I had a paternity test done. She's carrying my biological child. My child, Dad. The one every doctor said I'd never have. Catherine stands. That's impossible. Apparently not. Then the test is wrong. Or she tampered with it somehow. Marcus, you can't possibly believe. I believe the woman I love is having my baby. I believe I'm done living my life according to what you think is acceptable. And I believe you have two choices. Accept this, or lose me completely. You're not thinking clearly. Catherine's voice shakes. This is some kind of crisis. You're still processing Vanessa's pregnancy, you're vulnerable, and this woman took advantage. Stop calling her this woman. Marcus's hand finds Imani's. Her name is Imani. She has a master's degree in education. She's brilliant, kind, funny, and real in a way no one in our family has ever been. And she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's using you, Richard says flatly. No. She spent 2 months refusing to tell me about the pregnancy because she was terrified I'd get my hopes up. She tried to disappear from my life to protect me from potential disappointment. Everything she's done has been to shield me, not exploit me. That's what they all say. Enough. Marcus's voice rings through the room. I didn't come here for your approval. I came to tell you that I'm getting married and having a child. You can be part of our lives or you can't. Your choice. But I'm done apologizing for finally being happy. Catherine's eyes glisten. You don't understand what you're risking. I understand perfectly. And it's worth it. They leave 20 minutes later, after Catherine suggests a prenup and Richard threatens to cut Marcus out of the family business. Marcus's sister Rachel arrives as they're heading out, takes one look at the situation, and hugs Imani. About time he found someone real, Rachel whispers. Don't let them intimidate you. They tried the same thing with my husband. We've been married 12 years. It's the only bright spot in the entire disaster. In the car, Imani stares out the window. That went well. They'll come around. Your father called me a gold digger. My father is an ass. Your mother thinks I trapped you. My mother thinks everyone has ulterior motives because she married my father for his money. Marcus reaches for her hand. I meant what I said in there. You're the best thing that's happened to me. They don't get to take that away. She turns to look at him. What if they're right? What if this is too fast, too much too? It's not. How do you know? Because I spent 15 years settling, dating women who looked good on paper, marrying for the right reasons, building the life my family expected. He brings her hand to his lips. None of it felt like this. None of them made me want to come home. You do. So no, this isn't too fast. If anything, I wasted too much time before finding you. Tears slip down her cheeks. I love you. I love you too. He pulls over. They're on Lakeshore Drive, the city sprawling to their left. We're going to be okay. All three of us. She wants to believe him. The next week, his mother's lawyer sends a 50-page prenuptial agreement. Imani reads it in Marcus's office while he's on a conference call. The language is dense, but the meaning is clear. If they divorce within 5 years, she gets nothing. No alimony. No stake in his assets. Limited child support calculated by a complex formula that seems designed to minimize his obligation. She actually sent this, Imani says when he hangs up. Marcus scans the document. His expression darkens with each page. I'm not signing this. Marcus. No. This isn't protection. This is punishment. She's trying to make you feel like you don't belong. Maybe I don't. Stop. He takes her face in his hands. You belong with me. Period. We're not signing this. I'll have my own lawyer draw up something fair, something that protects you and the baby, not just my family's fortune. Your mother will lose her mind. Good. She needs the exercise. Despite everything, Imani laughs. You're impossible. I'm in love. He kisses her forehead. There's a difference. At 20 weeks, they find out they're having a girl. The ultrasound tech smiles as she angles the screen. See here. Definitely a girl. Congratulations. Marcus's hand tightens around Imani's. His face does something complicated. Joy and grief and wonder all at once. A daughter, he whispers. A daughter, Imani confirms. That night, he cries. Really cries. Face buried in her lap, shoulders shaking, 15 years of loss pouring out. I thought this would never happen, he says against her stomach. I made peace with it. Convinced myself it didn't matter. And now you get to be a father. I get to be her father. His palm spreads across her belly. I'm terrified. Me too. What if I'm terrible at it? What if I mess her up the way my parents messed me up? You won't. Imani's fingers card through his hair. You know what not to do. That's already better than most people. I want to give her everything. She won't need everything. She'll just need you. He looks up at her. How are you this wise? My grandmother. She used to say, babies don't need fancy things. They need someone who shows up. You're going to show up, Marcus. I know you will. Promise. Promise. They get married on a Saturday in December. Small ceremony. Courthouse. Rachel as witness, along with Imani's best friend Jasmine. No Bennett parents. No big production. Just them and their daughter growing between them and the judge who pronounces them husband and wife. I can't believe we did that, Imani says afterward. She's in a cream dress that accommodates her expanding belly. Marcus in a dark suit. Regrets. Not even one. They have dinner at the restaurant where they had their first official date. The owner remembers them, seats them at the same table, sends champagne that Imani can't drink. To us, Marcus says, raising his glass of sparkling cider to match hers. To the impossible. To the impossible, she echoes. His hand covers hers on the table. Gold band on his finger. Matching one on hers. I have something for you, he says. Marcus, you already gave me the ring. And the. Just open it. He slides a small box across the table. Inside is a key. What's this? Education consulting firm. Fully funded. Office space in the Loop. Startup capital. Yours to build however you want. He leans forward. You said you wanted to impact kids but have flexibility. Now you can. No more cleaning houses. No more working yourself to exhaustion. Just you, doing what you were meant to do. She stares at the key. This is too much. It's not enough. But it's a start. Marcus. Let me give you this. Please. You gave me everything. Let me give you your dreams back. She closes her fingers around the key. Thank you. Thank you for saving my life. They leave the restaurant hand in hand. Married. Expecting. Happy in a way that feels stolen from some other, better timeline. Imani tries not to think about what comes next. The other shoe. The disaster. The thing that proves this is all too good to be true. It arrives 3 days before Christmas. Dr. Patricia Chen calls on a Monday morning. Marcus is at work. Imani is alone in the penthouse, 24 weeks pregnant, organizing baby clothes that keep arriving from Rachel. Ms. Walker? This is Dr. Chen. I need to speak with you about your husband's medical records. Imani's stomach drops. Is something wrong? Not wrong, but unusual. I've been reviewing Mr. Bennett's historical fertility assessments, and something doesn't add up. Would you be available to come in today? Today. I think you'll want to hear this sooner rather than later. Dr. Chen's office overlooks Michigan Avenue. Imani sits in a leather chair, her hands protective over her belly, while the doctor pulls up files on her computer. I want to be clear, Dr. Chen says. Your baby is perfectly healthy. This isn't about her. Then what is it about? Your husband's infertility diagnosis. She turns the screen. I pulled his records from all 3 fertility clinics he used during his marriages. The results are consistent across 15 years. Severe oligospermia, less than 1% natural conception probability. Right. But obviously the diagnosis was wrong, or his condition improved, or... That's what I thought initially. But then I looked deeper. Dr. Chen clicks through screens. Mr. Bennett's original diagnosis came from Lincoln Fertility Center. Dr. James Morrison was his primary physician. Okay. Dr. Morrison lost his medical license 8 years ago. Falsifying patient records. Insurance fraud. Accepting bribes from pharmaceutical companies to prescribe unnecessary treatments. The office tilts. What are you saying? I'm saying I ran a current analysis on your husband's fertility. His count is well within normal range. Not exceptional, but absolutely capable of natural conception. There's no medical reason he should have ever been diagnosed as infertile. Imani can't breathe. So the diagnosis was fabricated, or at minimum, grossly exaggerated. Dr. Chen's expression softens. I can't prove Dr. Morrison deliberately falsified results, but the discrepancy between his 15-year-old diagnosis and current reality is significant. Oligospermia doesn't just reverse itself. If Mr. Bennett had this condition, it would still be present. Oh my God. There's more. Dr. Chen hesitates. I reached out to a colleague who worked at Lincoln Fertility. Off the record. She remembered your husband's case because it was unusual. Apparently, his first wife, Rachel. Rachel is his sister. I'm sorry. His first wife's name was Rachel too. No. Jennifer. Then Vanessa. I don't know about before that. Dr. Chen checks her notes. The wife who brought him in initially was named Caroline. They were married 6 years. She filed for divorce 2 months after his diagnosis. Caroline. Marcus never mentioned anyone named Caroline. According to my colleague, Dr. Chen continues, Caroline Bennett was insistent about the testing. Demanded specific procedures. Wanted Dr. Morrison personally. And she paid cash for everything. Unusual for someone with premium insurance. The pieces slot together. Ugly. Devastating. She paid him to lie, Imani whispers. I can't prove that. But the timeline is suspicious. Diagnosis, divorce filing, and Caroline Bennett remarrying within the year. To a man she'd allegedly been just friends with during her marriage. She wanted out. Needed a reason that wasn't her fault. Again, I can't prove intent. But yes. That's my theory. Imani stares at the city below. 24 stories of glass and steel and lies. Marcus spent 15 years believing he was broken. 3 marriages ended because he thought he couldn't give them children. His entire adult life shaped by a diagnosis that was probably fake from the beginning. Does he know? Dr. Chen asks gently. No. You need to tell him. I know. But she sits in that office for 20 more minutes, trying to figure out how. She tells him that night. Marcus comes home at 7, carrying takeout from her favorite Thai place. She's sitting in the dark, staring at the lake, both hands on her belly. Hey. He sets down the food, flips on a lamp. You okay? Is the baby? Baby's fine. Sit down. He reads her tone. Sits. She tells him everything. Dr. Chen's call. Morrison's fraud. The suspiciously convenient timing of Caroline's actions. The current fertility analysis showing nothing wrong. Marcus doesn't move through the entire explanation. Doesn't speak. Barely breathes. When she finishes, silence fills the penthouse. Say something, she whispers. 15 years. His voice is hollow. I believed it for 15 years. Marcus. Jennifer left because she wanted kids and I couldn't give them to her. That's what she said. That's what I believed. He stands, paces to the window. Vanessa and I spent $200,000 on IVF. 3 rounds. She cried herself to sleep every time it failed. And it was fake. The whole thing was based on a lie. You couldn't have known. I should have gotten a second opinion. Should have questioned it. Should have. His fist hits the glass. Not hard enough to break it, but hard enough to hurt. Stop. Imani crosses to him. This isn't your fault. My first wife, a woman I loved, paid a doctor to tell me I was defective, to give her an easy exit. And I believed her. I believed all of them when they left. I thought I was the problem. You're not the problem. You never were. But I lived like I was. He turns to face her. Do you understand what you're saying? I could have had children. With Jennifer. With Vanessa. I could have had the family I wanted, but I didn't even try because some fraud told me it was impossible. Those relationships ended for other reasons. Did they? Or did they end because I gave up? Because I made them go through IVF hell when we could have conceived naturally? Because I was so convinced I was broken that I broke everything myself. His face crumples. 15 years of grief turning to rage, turning to devastation. Imani pulls him down to the couch, wraps her arms around him while he shakes. I'm so angry, he breathes. I'm so angry I can't see straight. You're allowed to be angry. At who? Caroline's remarried. Moved to London. Morrison's already disgraced. I can't even confront them. Then be angry at the situation. At the unfairness. At the time you lost. She takes his hand, places it on her belly. But don't let it poison this. Don't let their lies take away what we have. He's quiet for a long time. His palm warm against her stomach. Their daughter moving beneath his touch. I want to find her, he says finally. Caroline. I want to ask her why. I need to hear her say it. Marcus. I know it won't change anything. But I need her to admit what she did. To acknowledge that she destroyed 15 years of my life for her convenience. Imani wants to tell him it's a bad idea. That confronting Caroline will only hurt more. But she sees his face and knows he needs this. Okay, she says. We'll find her. Caroline Bennett Lawson lives in Kensington. Marcus's investigator locates her in 3 days. Married to Thomas Lawson, the friend she left Marcus for. 2 children. 14 and 12. She got everything, Marcus says, staring at the report. The family. The happy ending. And I got a fake diagnosis and 15 years of hell. They fly to London on a Friday. Imani is 26 weeks pregnant, uncomfortable on the plane, worried about the stress affecting the baby. We don't have to do this, she says as they land. Yes, we do. Caroline answers the door herself. She's 48 now, still beautiful. Her expression shifting from confusion to recognition to horror in 3 seconds. Marcus. Hello, Caroline. What are you doing here? I think you know. Her hand tightens on the doorframe. This isn't a good time. Dr. James Morrison, Marcus says calmly. Lincoln Fertility Center. Ring any bells. The color drains from her face. I'd like to talk. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Caroline glances behind her. Someone moving in the house, then steps outside, closing the door. My husband doesn't know you're here. Your husband doesn't know a lot of things, I'm guessing. She crosses her arms. What do you want? The truth. Did you pay Morrison to falsify my diagnosis? Silence. Caroline. It was 15 years ago. Did you pay him? Her jaw tightens. Yes. The admission lands like a punch. Why? Because I was 25 years old and miserable. Because you worked 16-hour days and barely noticed I existed. Because I was in love with Thomas and didn't know how to leave you without looking like the villain. So you made me the broken one. I gave you an out too. You could have blamed the divorce on biology instead of admitting your marriage failed. You destroyed me. Marcus's voice shakes. Do you understand that? I spent 15 years thinking I was defective. 3 more marriages ended because I believed your lie. I gave up on having a family because of what you did. That's not my fault. You could have gotten a second opinion. I trusted you. I trusted my wife, and you paid someone to tell me I was less than whole. He steps closer. Did you ever feel guilty? Even once. Caroline's eyes glisten. Every day for the first year. Then I had my daughter, and I stopped thinking about you at all. The words cut clean. Wow, Marcus breathes. You're even worse than I imagined. I gave you 6 years. I tried to make it work. But you were married to your company, not to me. So yes, I lied to protect myself. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not asking for an apology. He reaches for Imani's hand. I'm just asking you to live with the knowledge that your lie cost me 15 years. That I almost missed out on this, he gestures to Imani's belly. Because you were too much of a coward to just leave. Caroline's gaze drops to Imani's stomach. You're pregnant. She is. Naturally conceived. Because there was never anything wrong with me. Something flickers across Caroline's face. Guilt, maybe. Or just discomfort. I hope you're happy, she says stiffly. I am. No thanks to you. Marcus turns. Walks away. Imani follows, her hand tight in his. They're halfway down the street when he stops. I thought I'd feel better, he says. Hearing her admit it. But I just feel empty. That's because closure isn't real. Imani touches his face. She can't give you back what she took. But you can stop letting it define you. How? By choosing us. By choosing this baby. By choosing the future instead of fighting the past. He pulls her close, careful of her belly between them. I love you. I love you too. They fly home the next morning. Marcus sleeps on the plane, his head on her shoulder, his hand protective over their daughter. Imani watches clouds pass beneath them and thinks, this is healing. Messy and imperfect and slow, but healing nonetheless. The baby stops moving on a Tuesday. Imani is 32 weeks pregnant. She's in the penthouse, folding tiny onesies Rachel sent, when she realizes she hasn't felt the kicks she's grown accustomed to. She waits an hour. Drinks cold water. Something the pregnancy books say stimulates movement. Nothing. She lies on her left side. Eats something sweet. Presses gently on her belly. Still nothing. Panic crawls up her throat. She calls Marcus. Something's wrong. He's home in 15 minutes. They're at the hospital in 20. The emergency room is fluorescent lights and antiseptic smell and a nurse who won't meet Imani's eyes as she straps the fetal monitor around her belly. Just relax, the nurse says. Let's see what we've got. Static. Rustling. Then, a heartbeat. Strong and steady. Imani starts crying. Baby's fine, the nurse says, smiling now. Heart rate is perfect. Sometimes they just have quiet days, especially as they get bigger and run out of room. She's really okay. She's really okay. But since you're here, let's have the doctor do a full check. Dr. Reeves is the one who delivered the good news at their anatomy scan. She's calm, thorough, explains everything in plain language. Your baby looks great, she says after the ultrasound. Good size, moving well, heart function normal. Then why did she stop moving? Could be position. Could be she was sleeping. Could be you were busy and didn't notice the smaller movements. Dr. Reeves pauses. But I want to talk about something else. Your blood pressure is elevated. Not dangerously yet, but it's been creeping up the last few weeks. And there's some protein in your urine. What does that mean? It could mean nothing. Or it could be early signs of preeclampsia. The word lands heavy. Preeclampsia, Marcus repeats. That's serious. It can be. If it progresses. Right now, we're in watch and wait territory. Dr. Reeves looks at Imani. I need you to take it easy. No stress. Plenty of rest. We'll monitor you weekly. If things worsen, we may need to deliver early. How early? Ideally, we'd wait until 37 weeks. But if your health is at risk, we deliver when we need to. Even if that means 34, 35 weeks. Imani's hand finds her belly. She'll be okay. NICU can handle premature births beautifully. But let's not borrow trouble. Just rest, reduce stress, and come back in a week. Rest is impossible. Imani lies in bed while Marcus hovers. He's canceled meetings, postponed travel, set up a home office in their bedroom so he can work near her. You don't have to babysit me, she says on day 3. I'm not babysitting. I'm working. You're staring at me every 5 minutes to make sure I'm breathing. That's an exaggeration. Marcus. He closes his laptop. I'm terrified, okay? You scared the hell out of me. The thought of losing you or the baby or both. His voice breaks. I can't do this without you. You're not going to lose me. You don't know that. I do. I'm young, healthy, and we caught this early. Dr. Reeves said. Dr. Reeves said it could get worse. That you could need an emergency delivery. That our daughter might end up in the NICU fighting for her life. Or none of that happens and I have a normal delivery at full term. But what if? Stop. She takes his hand. You can't live in the what-ifs. I need you here. Present. Not spiraling about every terrible possibility. He's quiet for a long moment. I don't know how to do that. Neither do I. But we figure it out together. By week 34, her blood pressure is worse. Dr. Reeves admits her to the hospital for observation. Just for a few days. We'll monitor both of you closely, get your blood pressure under control, make sure baby tolerates everything. The hospital room is private, Marcus insisted. But it's still a hospital. Beeping monitors. Nurses checking vitals every 4 hours. The constant awareness that something could go wrong at any moment. Marcus sleeps in the chair beside her bed. Go home, Imani says on the second night. Get real sleep. I'm fine here. You're folded like a pretzel in a chair meant for visiting, not living. I'm not leaving you. Marcus. No. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. When Caroline lied about the diagnosis, I lost 15 years. When you tried to hide the pregnancy, I almost lost you. I'm not losing anything else. If staying in an uncomfortable chair means I'm here if something happens, then that's where I'm staying. She wants to argue, but the fear in his eyes stops her. Okay, she whispers. Stay. On day 4, her blood pressure spikes at 3 in the morning. Alarms. Nurses rushing in. Dr. Reeves appearing in scrubs. Her expression serious. We need to deliver, she says. Now. Your pressure is dangerously high and baby's heart rate is showing signs of distress. We can't wait anymore. I'm only 34 weeks. I know. But if we wait, we risk stroke, seizures, or placental abruption. Your baby is big enough. The NICU is ready. We need to do this. Everything moves too fast after that. Consent forms. 4 antibiotics. The anesthesiologist explaining the epidural. Marcus in surgical scrubs. His face pale beneath the blue cap. I'm scared, Imani says as they wheel her to the OR. Me too. His hand grips hers. But we're doing this together. The surgery is surreal. Pressure but no pain. Voices above the blue drape. Marcus beside her, whispering things she can't quite hear over the pounding of her heart. Then a cry. High-pitched. Angry. The most beautiful sound Imani has ever heard. She's here, Dr. Reeves says. Born at 4:17 a.m. 4 pounds, 13 ounces. Is she okay? Imani tries to lift her head. She's breathing on her own. Good color. The NICU team is checking her now. A moment later, they bring her over. Tiny. So tiny. A little face scrunched in fury. Miniature fists waving. Hi, baby girl. Imani breathes. Marcus is crying. Openly, unashamedly. She's perfect. She is. Imani touches one tiny hand. The fingers wrap around hers. Hi, sweetheart. We've been waiting for you. Then the NICU team takes her away. They need to do assessments, make sure her lungs are developed enough, check for any complications from the early delivery. You can see her in a few hours, the nurse promises. Once we have her stabilized. Imani watches her daughter disappear through the doors. Marcus kisses her forehead. You did it. We did it. She's here. She's real. She's ours. She's ours, Imani echoes. The NICU is a forest of beeping machines and tiny isolettes. Their daughter is in the third row under warming lights, wearing a diaper that looks absurdly large on her miniature frame. Wires and monitors cover her chest, and 4 in her tiny hand. She's doing great, the nurse says. Breathing on her own, no oxygen support needed. That's huge for 34 weeks. She just needs to learn to regulate her body temperature and gain some weight. How long will she be here? Marcus asks. Typically until their original due date, or until they hit certain milestones. Could be 3 weeks, could be 5. We'll know more as she progresses. Imani reaches into the isolette. Her daughter's hand wraps around her finger again. Hey, baby. It's Mama. Her voice cracks. You're so strong. You're doing so good. Marcus's hand rests on her shoulder. Have you thought about names? They'd discussed it. Made lists. But nothing felt right. Until now. Hope, Imani says softly. Her name is Hope. Marcus's throat works. Hope Bennett. Hope Imani Bennett. She looks up at him. After my grandmother. And for what she gave us. It's perfect. He leans down, his face close to the isolette. Hi, Hope. I'm your daddy. And I promise I'm going to spend every day of my life making sure you know how loved you are. The next 3 weeks are a blur. Imani stays at the hospital, refusing to leave. Marcus brings her changes of clothes, real food, books she doesn't read. They take shifts sitting beside Hope's isolette, talking to her, touching her through the porthole openings, learning to change the world's tiniest diapers. She's a fighter, the nurses say. She's hitting every milestone ahead of schedule. Hope gains weight, learns to regulate her temperature, graduates from the isolette to an open crib, starts taking bottles instead of feeding through a tube. At 3 weeks and 2 days, Dr. Chen, the NICU pediatrician, smiles at them during rounds. I think we can talk about going home soon. Imani's heart leaps. Really? She's maintaining her temperature, eating well, gaining consistently. All her tests look good. If she keeps this up, maybe by the end of the week. Marcus exhales. She's really okay. She's more than okay. She's thriving. They bring Hope home on a Saturday in February. The penthouse has been transformed. Nursery in soft yellows and grays. Rocking chair by the window. Crib that seems enormous compared to the NICU isolette. Rachel is there when they arrive. So is Jasmine. Even Marcus's father shows up, awkward and stiff, but present. She's beautiful, Richard says, looking at Hope in Marcus's arms. She looks like you did. When you were born. It's the closest thing to an apology they'll probably get. Catherine arrives an hour later, carrying a gift bag overflowing with designer baby clothes. May I hold her? She asks Imani. Imani hesitates, then nods. Catherine takes Hope carefully, her expression softening in a way Imani has never seen. Hello, sweet girl. Catherine's voice is gentle. I'm your grandmother. And I'm sorry I was difficult. Your mama is wonderful, and your daddy is happier than I've ever seen him, and you. She touches Hope's tiny hand. You're the miracle we didn't know we needed. Marcus's arm slides around Imani's waist. We're really doing this, she whispers. We're really doing this. That night, after everyone leaves, they sit in the nursery. Hope sleeps in her crib. Safe, healthy home. Marcus and Imani sit in the rocking chair, her body curved against his, both of them watching their daughter breathe. I keep thinking about that first night, Marcus says quietly. After Vanessa called. When you found me falling apart. What about it? If you hadn't knocked on that door. If you'd just gone home. We wouldn't be here. But I did knock. And you let me in. Best decision I ever made. Imani tilts her head back to look at him. You know what Dr. Chen told me? When she called about Caroline's lie. What? She said sometimes the universe corrects itself. That maybe I came into your life exactly when I was supposed to. Not despite what happened, but because of it. You believe that? I don't know. But I believe we found each other. And I believe she's exactly who she was meant to be. She looks at Hope. Our impossible miracle. Marcus kisses her temple. I love you. I love you too. Hope makes a small sound in her sleep. Both of them freeze waiting, but she settles again. We should probably sleep while she sleeps, Imani says. Probably. Neither of them moves. They stay there in the darkness, watching their daughter, holding onto each other, and the impossible life they've built together. 6 months later. The Sunday dinner tradition starts by accident. Rachel mentions that her kids miss seeing Hope. Jasmine says she hasn't had real home cooking in months. Marcus suggests they make it a regular thing. So now, every Sunday at 3, the penthouse fills with people. Today it's Rachel and her family, Jasmine and her new boyfriend, 2 of Imani's former teaching colleagues, and, surprisingly, Catherine and Richard. Marcus's mother has softened. Not completely, but enough that she shows up with expensive wine and actually asks Imani about her consulting business. I landed 3 new contracts this month, Imani says, stirring collard greens on the stove. Hope is strapped to her chest in a carrier, 9 months old now, chewing on a teething ring. 2 Chicago schools and 1 district in Atlanta. That's wonderful. Catherine hovers nearby, clearly wanting to hold Hope but not quite asking. You've built something impressive. Thank you. It's been good to use my degree again. To feel like myself. May I? Catherine gestures to Hope. Imani lifts her daughter out of the carrier. Hands are over. Hope goes easily, her curls bouncing, her smile bright. She's gotten so big, Catherine says softly. And those eyes. She has Marcus's eyes. She has his stubbornness too. God help you. Tonight, the Bennett Foundation, now co-chaired by Marcus and Imani, is announcing a new initiative. Full-ride scholarships for children of housekeepers, maintenance workers, and service industry employees. Because everyone deserves a chance, Imani says from the podium, regardless of where they started. Marcus watches his wife, confident, radiant, changing lives, and thinks about the scared housekeeper who knocked on his door 8 years ago. His impossible miracle. Their impossible life. Perfect in every imperfect way. What would you rate this story? Drop 0 to 10 in the comments right now. If this story moved you, hit subscribe for more emotional journeys every week. And if it truly touched your heart, consider leaving a super thanks. Your support helps us create more stories like this. Every contribution, big or small, means the world. Ready for the next story? It's even more dramatic than this one. Click now. Thank you for being part of this journey.